Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2013. The California Public Utilities Commission is recommending the biggest fine ever against a utility out there. They're recommending a $2.25 billion penalty against Pacific Gas and Electric for the deadly 2010 explosion in San Bruno. That explosion left 8 people dead in September of 2010, left dozens injured, and destroyed 30 homes when a 54-year-old gas pipeline exploded underneath the San Francisco suburb. The NTSB, as well as the California Public Utilities Commission, issued a scathing indictment of PG&E's practices, saying that baffling mistakes and a litany of failures, including the 95 minutes it took the company to shut off the gas line, contributed to the disaster. It truly was an amazing sight. For 95 minutes, the gas continued to spew, creating a fireball that actually caused some flight interruptions at San Francisco International Airport when planes had to be diverted from coming into land from the south. So they could be hit with the biggest fine in history. Third Point Re, which is part of the Third Point hedge fund run by billionaire Daniel Loeb, has hired banks for an initial public offering. This is according to 3 sources familiar with the matter. It's being reported by Reuters. Bermuda-based Third Point Re is apparently working with Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, and JP Morgan on a public float that could raise about $250 million later this year. Third Point launched its reinsurer arm last year with $750 million in capital. The company is led by prominent industry executive John Berger, who was the former CEO at Altera Capital. This had always been the plan for Third Point Re. This is a pretty accelerated schedule. Other hedge funds that have been set up as reinsurers down there, including Greenlight Capital, raised $258 million in its IPO last year. A major Chinese bank, the Bank of China, is cutting off business with a North Korean bank accused by the United States of assisting Pyongyang's missile and nuclear programs. A spokesman for the Beijing-based Bank of China said this morning it had notified the Foreign Trade Bank of North Korea that its accounts were being closed and that all financial transactions suspended. The Foreign Trade Bank is North Korea's main foreign exchange bank. The United States Treasury Department has called it a key node in financing North Koreans' weapons programs. Interestingly enough, this morning, intelligence is reporting that North Korea has moved 2 medium-range missiles off the launch pads in the eastern part of the country and moved them to another location. The other location is a non-launch location. American intelligence officials say they are now cautiously optimistic that this means that a test launch is not imminent. A Costa Rican insurer has asked a Florida judge for permission to add punitive damage claims against Howden Insurance Brokers and Hemispheric Reinsurance Group. This is in a suit accusing the brokers of overcharging commission. The motion was filed on April 1st by the Instituto Nacional de Seguros. It asserts that the brokers' practice of grossing up and their failure to disclose the facts surrounding this practice constituted a conscious disregard or indifference of the insurer's rights. The insurer is owned by the Costa Rican government. It provides property damage and business interruption coverage to the state-owned telecommunications supplier. Private equity house Stone Point Capital looks like it's going to win the bidding to purchase the Lloyd's platform Atrium. Insurance Insider is reporting that Stone Point Capital secured exclusivity in the sales process. This is this morning. They now look likely to triumph in a drawn-out battle that had included Warburg Pincus, Elliott Management Corporation, and ABRY Partners, as having been eliminated now. XL Group down in Bermuda has launched the first Sharia-compliant insurer for large corporate and middle-market clients. They've signed a binder agreement with Cobalt Underwriting, which specializes in Sharia-compliant insurance and reinsurance. The chief executive of property and commercial insurance for XL Group, Jason Harris, described commercial compliant insurance as a commercial Sharia-compliant insurance as a growing untapped market. No kidding. It allows them access to the Islamic world. 5 people have been thought to have been killed when one of the Philippines' most active volcanoes erupted this morning, throwing rocks onto a party of foreign climbers and their Filipino guides. The eruption occurred at the Mayon volcano in Albay province. 3 German climbers and a Filipino guide are known to be among the dead. Everyone has been accounted for except for 1 foreign climber who is now also presumed to be dead. A rescue operation is underway. The governor of the province said the injured are all foreigners. They cannot walk. If you can imagine, the boulders there are as big as cars. A bipartisan coalition in the United States Senate last night easily passed legislation forcing internet retailers to collect state sales tax. This is a big move. It's sending the issue now to the House, where anti-tax forces have vowed to kill it. Hundreds of retailers are flying to Washington this week to pressure House lawmakers and counter the arguments of small government groups, including Grover Norquist's Americans for Tax Reform, which is threatening to kill the bill. The Internet Sales Tax Bill, called Marketplace Fairness Act, is a rarity in Washington these days. It's brought together Republicans and Democrats who are intensely interested in preserving small retailers who are being boxed out by internet sales. The bill would allow online retailers with more than $1 million in annual out-of-state sales to collect sales tax from all customers and remit those taxes back to state and local governments. President Obama supports the bill and has indicated he will sign it if the bill reaches him, which is no certain matter these days. That is the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll